What's up, guys? It's McMahon. I'm back with another video. So I've been out all day. I was at work since 6 in the morning, and then I was out at a friend's house, and then went out to dinner with them. So I just got home a little while ago, less than half an hour or so ago. So I'm just now catching the news regarding Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. officially retiring from the WWE. Now, this is fucking massive because if you don't know already, um, Vince has been caught up in another scandal, the latest of several he's been in over the years, but this one probably is the biggest since the steroid trials and could have actually forced him out. And I think that's probably why he's choosing to retire, is because if he retires ahead of time, ahead of whenever this shit comes out, then we'll see how much WWE takes on. But as far as the scandal itself goes, basically, what has come out is that he paid people, women specifically, for, well, let's put it this way, his own pleasures, quote unquote. There's more to it, and you can go and find that there's. I didn't actually make a video on it, surprisingly, but there are plenty of other videos out there about it, so go check those out. But the bottom line is it was a huge fucking story, and it's been ran by multiple, big, news sources, multiple agencies investigating things of that nature. And a little while back, he was, and it was announced he was stepping away for the time being, not officially leaving, but he was stepping down from his CEO position. Um, um, and Stephanie McMahon would be leading that role in the interim. Now he's officially retired. He's out. Well, not completely. And I'll get to that momentarily, but this is huge for WWE. I would imagine Stephanie McMahon is now going from interim to full-time CEO of the WWE. The WWE's Twitter announced that Triple H will be returning to his role as Executive Vice President, EVP, and Head of Talent Relations, which, if you're an NXT Black and Gold fan, we'll see, but that's probably going to get your hopes up, for a return to that. To give a few thoughts on that, I don't think NXT is going to return completely to the Black and Gold era. I think it's going to be a mix of the Black and Gold era and the current 2.0 era, but we'll see where things go. The other big thing in terms of WWE right now is Bruce Pritchard will now be taking over as the head of creative. I don't think this is going to be permanent. From what I saw, he's still going to get a little bit of direction from Vince during this transition phase, but don't be surprised if, say, a month, a couple months from now, Bruce is out as well, because him and Steph and Trips as well, he doesn't have the greatest of relations with Steph and Trips. Like, keep in mind, guys like Kevin Dunn, Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, the latter two we'll get to in a moment. The reason why they're there is purely because of Vince. Pritchard, somebody mentioned me, Pritchard had been fired back in 2009 because him and Steph and Trips weren't getting along, and there was beef there, and it was bad enough to where he did get let go. Of course, he's got brought back later. And Laurinaitis came back, I think, back in 2020, I believe, in what would be his position within the company. But Laurinaitis has already been implicated in this current scandal, and looked to kind of be the fall guy for it, quote unquote. So as far as that goes, Laurinaitis, do not be surprised if Laurinaitis is officially kicked out, probably within the next coming days or weeks. I think that's inevitable. I'm pretty sure he's on leave at the moment. Don't be surprised if he's fired within the next couple of weeks, because that's inevitable. Pritchard, I don't think he's sticking around for long. My guess will be he's probably going to be out at some point. Kevin Dunn, same thing. He's another Vince guy. Basically, any of Vince's guys that are still with the company, probably going to be removed in the near future. Now, there's one other thing I want to mention here, and that's Brock Lesnar. Now, y'all know he got brought back, I think, for SummerSlam, last man standing match against Roman Reigns for both titles, and with this potentially being the last time we see Roman versus Brock, unless they have to run it again because whatever. I believe this was supposed to be Roman versus Randy Orton, but Orton had a back injury, so he's out for the rest of the year at this point. So here comes Lesnar. Well, in the aftermath of Vince's retirement, he apparently walked out of SmackDown tonight. And reportedly, they're trying to bring Lesnar back to the arena. Like, he's not even there at last check. Cultaholics reporting that, according to a source, WWE may bring in Goldberg to replace Lesnar at SummerSlam if Lesnar says, fuck this, I'm out. Because, like, I'm not even sure he was going to come back. But again, Orton back injury. Here's Lesnar again. And I was going to do a whole theory thing. No reference to theory, although kind of. And in my SummerSlam predictions video, which will be next week, before SummerSlam, but now that's completely in flux. And yeah, now, as far as Lesnar walking out goes, I think what it is Lesnar might kind of look up to Vince, kind of like another father figure of sorts, in a way. I mean, Brock was Vince's project in the early 2000s, in Brock's first run with the company, and whatnot. So, he's part of that, that legendary foursome of him, Batista, Orton, and Cena from the year 2002, coming out of OVW and whatnot. And as far as Lesnar goes, whatever he decides to do, whether he does stick around, if he comes back tonight, if he comes back at all, if he even wrestles SummerSlam, I wouldn't be surprised if after SummerSlam, depending on what happens, this may be the actual last time we see Lesnar with WWE, at least until he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And to him, fair play. He's done a lot. Let the man rest. He can still go, but let the man rest. But back to Vince. This is massive. And I would not be surprised if we see the results of the investigation come out within the coming days. Yeah, so big news, man. Big fucking news. So as far as things go from here on, like I said, SummerSlam predictions video will be sometime next week. Probably, I'm going to probably wait till after SmackDown, but we'll see what happens. If the match card is made official after Raw, depending on what happens, then I might make it sometime in the middle of the week. But with the Lesnar thing, I have no fucking idea now. Also, SummerSlam booking video for the Road to Revenge series, that will be out next week. I've been kind of lacking on it in terms of writing, but I'm going to bust my rear end in the next few days to get that done so I can get it out before SummerSlam. And aside from that, we'll see what the fuck happens at this point. So, with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you all next time. Peace.